Have you ever noticed how bad your food and weight struggles make you feel? How much they are dragging you down, how much you obsess about them. You think about them from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to bed at night. How they color your whole world gray. How they make you feel like you've got a 10-ton weight that you're dragging around on your back. Welcome back to the JoLynn Braley Show. Today is episode number 182. How to feel 10 times better in 7 days or less and start losing weight. Hello, welcome back to the JoLynn Braley Show, or welcome if this is your first time here. If this is your first time here, my name is JoLynn Braley. I am the permanent weight loss coach who founded the Inner Self Diet. The Inner Self Diet is my proven step-by-step coaching system I have been coaching amazing clients through since 2009, and it works every time, as long as you do it. You can't just listen to me talk about it and expect to get some kind of magical results. But isn't that the way it is with anything in life? I mean, if you want to build a log cabin and you purchase all of the materials to build that log cabin, but you never pick up the hammer, you never put a log in place, you never start, then how can you expect to have a magical log cabin appear at the end unless you're having somebody else do it? But when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to stopping binge eating, stopping emotional eating, can you really farm that out to a contractor? Because you're the one putting the food in your mouth. Does that make sense? So my proven step-by-step system, the Inner Self Diet, it works every time. All you have to do is do it. I have been inspiring and motivating millions since 2007 when I first started my mind-body weight loss business online, and I was doing a lot of writing about processed food. And then I started going back to the fact of something I'd always known, but I hadn't implemented fully, and that is the fact that your mind is where all weight loss is either won or lost. If you don't win the game of weight loss in your mind, you have no chance of winning it with your body. This is why you can lose 5 pounds, but then you gain 10 back. This is why you can lose 50 pounds and gain 70 back. Always this yo-yo dieting thing. It's impossible to create a lasting change if you don't address the real problems. And the real problems are always going to be found the 6 inches between your ears. That is where all of your weight loss problems are. They're in your mind. For example, a very simple example, if you often say to yourself, I can't lose weight, well, guess what? You're going to prove it because your behaviors will match that statement. Keep saying, I can't lose weight loss is too hard, I'm doomed to be fat, and your results will match because your behaviors will match what you're thinking, what you're saying, and how you're feeling. And how you're feeling is determined by how you are thinking. Your mindset is 92.8% of what determines if you are going to get all the way to your goal weight and stay there, or if you're going to continue battling, continue struggling, continue sabotaging yourself. You've got to do the inner self work to get your mindset on the right track. That is what makes weight loss simple. It makes it struggle-free. It can even make it fun. And this should sound impossible to you because you do not have a weight loss mindset. If you had a weight loss mindset, then you would already be living it. It would not be a big deal for you to live a healthy lifestyle. Okay? Are you following me? Is this making sense? If it doesn't, go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/JoLynn Braley. Like the page, sign up for notifications for when I go live. Leave me a comment on the page after you do that, and tell me that you were listening to episode number 182 of the JoLynn Braley Show. Tell me what it is that I said that you don't understand. Tell me your question, and I'd be happy to do a follow-up podcast. Why not? I'm sure that your question would help others out there too. So you're not alone, and it would be awesome to do that follow-up. But yeah, bottom line, there's no way to get around this. If you believe that you're doomed to be fat, you are. If you don't do the inner self work to change how you're thinking, and it goes deeper than just your conscious thoughts. You've got to get into that subconscious river that you're not able to see on your own because it's just been there so long. That's where the undercurrents and the undertows are. And this is why if you've ever lost weight and then you gained it all back, and the way that you describe it to other people is you say, oh yeah, I was doing so great, and then something happened. And if anyone has ever asked you, well, what happened? You say, I don't know. That's the undertow. That's the undercurrent of your subconscious river of fat thinking that sucked you back in. And you're not able to access that because it's subconscious. If you want to get that uprooted and you want to get it cleaned out so that it doesn't sabotage you anymore, get with the right coach to get this done. That's what I do with my awesome coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet. Okay, so I'm going to share with you how to feel 10 times better in 7 days or less and start losing weight. And before we're done today, I'll tell you what your first step is if you want me to help you break free of your ongoing food and weight struggles. Now, I do suggest right now that just as a freebie that you go over to www.easyfunweightloss.com, www.easyfunweightloss.com. Download my free, simple 10-step cheat sheet to successful weight loss. It's super simple, super easy to read. I think it's a total of 5 pages, and that includes the cover sheet and the disclaimer. You know how there's got to be a disclaimer. As you know, you always need to check with your medical doctor before making any changes to how you eat, how you exercise, anything like that. So really, my cheat sheet is a total of 3 pages. Super simple, super easy. If you actually take action with it, hey, you can start getting results to make weight loss easy and fun. Go to www.easyfunweightloss.com to get that now. So how can you feel 10x better, 10 times better in 7 days or less and start losing weight? Here's how you do it. You stop eating processed foods. It's that simple. It is that simple. You go back to eating whole, healthy foods, the kind of food that you have to buy in the grocery store that if you don't cook it and prepare it and make it, if you don't eat it, it's going to go bad. Processed food is the majority of the food found in a grocery store that can sit on a shelf for months, sometimes years, and it won't go bad because it has so many additives, preservatives, and poisons in it. Yes, I said it, poisons. Here's why you're going to feel 10 times better at minimum in 7 days or less and start losing weight if you get off of all processed foods. Now, you do need to use portion control also, and there are certain whole foods that aren't going to help you lose weight. For example, fruits that are very high in natural sugar. You don't want to be just eating a bunch of fruit all the time because that's not actually going to help you lose weight because it will spike your blood sugar. And we're getting into all of the physiological science part of weight loss. But, there are certain structures and steps that guidelines, right? Guidelines, instructions that you need to be aware of with the human body, which you probably already are aware of. You probably know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You know how to lose weight because you've done it before. But what I'm saying is if you want to clear up the brain cloud, if you want to feel better, if you want to get your energy back or feel energetic, maybe you can't remember the last time you felt energetic. If you want to actually start losing weight, then stop eating processed foods. Now, if you do not understand what processed foods are, then here's all you need to do. When you go to the grocery store, read the ingredients label, not the nutrition panel, but the ingredients label. And if there is anything listed on those ingredients besides what the food is, then you're looking at processed food. All right, so if you go buy a can of plain green beans, no salt added, the only ingredient will be green beans. Now, it's better if you buy fresh green beans and steam them, or however, if you want to put them in a pan on the stove, it depends on the recipe. I prefer to steam mine. That's going to be better. But if you live in a part of the country where they're seasonal and you need to buy them canned at sometimes or frozen, you can buy green beans frozen. And when you look at the ingredients label, if you're buying a bag of green beans and they're not processed, there's no cheese added, there's no salt added, there's no sugar added, there's nothing added to it. There's no preservatives, there's no MSG, there's no high fructose corn syrup, there's nothing added. Then when you read the ingredients label of that bag of frozen green beans, the only word that will be on that ingredients label is green beans. If you buy chicken breast, not frozen, because there's gunk added to frozen chicken breast. If you buy fresh chicken breast, there's actually not even an ingredient label on that because all it is chicken breast. But there is a label that will tell you if it is hormone-free, additive-free. That's on the labeling of the package. If you are buying a green pepper, there's no ingredient label. All it is a green pepper. Okay? If you buy a box of Ritz crackers, do you know how many ingredients are on that label? If I were in the grocery store right now, I could rattle them off for you, and there's going to be at least 10 or more ingredients on that package of processed food. All of those ingredients will slow down your metabolism. They make your body fat. They gunk up your system. They give you brain fog. They drag you down. And they impact the chemistry of your brain. And they can impact how you feel, not just physically, but also emotionally. So this podcast might sound a little different for you if you're used to listening to the JoLynn Braley Show, and I'm always talking about mindset because mindset is the biggest key. It's the biggest piece of the puzzle, and it still is. It still is. Because even though I'm saying that all you have to do is eat whole healthy foods, which means you have to cook, which really isn't a big deal when you have the right mindset. That's the thing. That's the thing right there. If you don't have a weight loss mindset, then hearing me say what I'm suggesting right now to get off the processed foods. And, oh, by the way, did I clarify this? How to feel 10x better in 7 days or less and start losing weight? You have to get off of those processed foods and eat only whole healthy foods every day, every meal. This also includes what you're drinking. Get off of the sodas. Get off of the additives in different waters. You know, like the Gatorades, the vitamin waters. That's not considered water. You need to be drinking at least 100 ounces of regular plain water a day, and you're not ingesting processed drinks or food. This also eliminates alcohol. And you're doing this meal after meal after meal after meal after meal. By day 4, you should already be feeling 10 times better. You really should. However, if you've spent a lifetime eating processed foods and feeling bad, also, if you're a binge eater or an emotional eater, a problem that will happen most likely is when you stop eating processed foods, now all of those negative emotions that you've been trying to stuff down with food and drug them out, trying to make them go away with food, they're all going to come up. And if you don't have the inner self tools to deal with that baggage, then that's going to be really difficult. But here we're back to the mindset. Okay, you got to get the right mindset to do this. You could go do this, though. If you want to just, I was going to say, if you want to just not believe me when I'm always talking about mindset, you could do that. But the thing is, this is not even my rule. It's not something I've made up. It is how it is. And you know what's really funny? I was talking to my brother about what I do. And this is like light years away from the kind of work he does, because he does like home building, home improvements. He's doing, creative, physical work, which is really awesome. I'm not talented like that. My talents are in reprogramming the mind so that you can finally get that weight off and keep it off. And when I was talking to him about the fact that you got to have a weight loss mindset, he said right away, oh, yeah. Mind is everything. And I was like, well, if my brother, who doesn't do this for a living, and yes, he's very smart, right? And he's very successful with what he's doing, but he doesn't do mindset work with people. If my brother knows this, then all these times on my podcast when I'm asking, does this make sense? Does this make sense? Does this make sense? Why would I need to even say that? How could it not make sense that your mind is the biggest component of weight loss? If you don't have your mind in the right place, how are you ever going to get yourself to get off the processed foods? And I sure know for myself that I have been there before. I have totally been there where I had all this information, but I wasn't doing anything about it because I just kept eating the poisonous, crappy, fake foods. So we're still back to mindset. And when you're hearing me say, get off of the processed foods, eat only whole, healthy foods, eat with portion control, make sure that you're not drinking alcohol or other liquids that are processed, that have additives in them. Make sure that you're drinking at least 100 ounces of clean water every day. Make sure that you're always eating a protein with every snack or meal. Eat protein first. And make sure that you're staying consistent. So it's not going to work to eat whole, healthy foods during the day and then at night eat cookies and ice cream. It's not going to work. So if you do this and you stick with it consistently, by day 4, you should already be feeling at least 10 times better. By day 5, you're going to feel even better. By day 6, even better. By day 7, even better. And it's going to get easier and easier and easier and easier and easier for you to keep going. But to get started, you can either force yourself. What's going to happen, though, is all of the negativity that you've been trying to avoid and trying to drug out with food, it's all going to come up. So you got to have the tools to deal with that and move through it without eating crappy food. As you're listening to me talk right now, and talk about this. How to feel 10 times better in 7 days or less and start losing weight, because your body will start releasing fat when you stop gunking it up with the processed crappy foods. What are all of the fears that are coming up for you? What are all of the doubts? What are all of the excuses? Oh, well, I can't do that. There's no way I can do that. I've got kids. I have to buy them their snack packs, and I can't stop myself from eating them. Okay, that's what you're thinking. So now you have a mindset problem. Oh, well, I can't do this today. I have to wait until Monday. Why not today? Only addicts say tomorrow. That is the language of addiction. Tomorrow, 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 tomorrow. Why not today? Hey, I've been there before too. Didn't help me lose weight. That is for darn sure. Oh, well, nothing works for me. I can't lose weight. Okay, you've got a mindset problem. What are you going to do about it? Do you want to do anything about it? What is it costing you to keep living like this? You know what one of my coaching clients said, and she's so right. She said, you either pay now to fix these problems or you're going to pay in hospital bills later. And she's right. Remember to go over to www.easyfunweightloss.com. You can download my free, simple 10-step cheat sheet to successful weight loss, 10 simple steps to start making weight loss easier and fun. Get it now at www.easyfunweightloss.com. A couple self-questions to ask yourself for the purpose of raising your level of awareness so that you can start taking action, new action, to lose weight and keep it off. You will get the most out of this if you write each question down, pen on paper, because then you will get the connection between your head, hand, and heart that you cannot get if you don't write pen on paper. Also, writing pen on paper takes you out of the spinning in your head. It forces you to get present. It forces you to be with yourself. And if you can't stand yourself enough to write pen on paper for a couple minutes, how are you ever going to lose weight and keep it off? Because you have to like yourself and love yourself enough to do what it takes to get that weight off and keep it off. This is a very complex problem, and it requires a holistic, deep, solid solution that addresses the real problems to solve it. That's what I do with my awesome coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet. I'll tell you here before we're done today, your first step, if you actually are serious about taking action to end your food and weight struggles for good. All right, so these questions, just pause the podcast as you need time to write each one down. First question, how willing am I to stop eating processed foods? How willing am I? Number 2 question, what are all of my excuses, fears, and doubts about kicking my processed food habit? Write them all down. Number 3 question, how successful have I been up until this point with losing weight while continuing to eat processed foods? What are my results? Number 4 question, what is the fastest way for me to get a weight loss mindset? What is my system? Where is my accountability? Where is my coach? How exactly am I going to do this? Number 5 question, why do I want a weight loss mindset? In other words, do I really want to make weight loss easy? Or do I prefer to struggle and battle and yo-yo? Because the only reason that you'd want a weight loss mindset is to finally make this whole thing easy, make it last, make it struggle-free. And by the way, when I say easy and struggle-free, what that means is you don't sabotage yourself anymore. You do what needs to be done to live a healthy lifestyle, and you don't get in your own way. It's just not a big deal. When I say struggle-free weight loss, easy weight loss, that does not mean that you're taking a pill and sitting on the couch. That does not mean that. It means that there are things that must be done to live a healthy lifestyle so you can get the weight off and keep it off. And when it's struggle-free and easy to do that, it's because you have the right mindset and you don't get in your own way to do those things. You stop making the excuses. You stop putting it off. You value yourself enough to do what needs to be done, and you move forward. It's just not a big deal. Those are the results that come from a weight loss mindset, which gives you 92.8% of what you need to finally succeed with your weight. 7.2% of what you need to finally succeed with your weight is the healthy eating and exercise plan. Okay? But if you don't have the mindset, you won't do the healthy eating and exercise plan. Does this make sense? And hey, you're smart and successful in your professional life, maybe also in your relationships, and you already know exactly what you need to do to lose weight and keep it off because you've done it before, but you're not doing it. That right there is the number one glaring sign that you do not have a weight loss mindset. If you want to get one and you want my help to do it, your first place to start is going to be over at www.10minuteweightlosscall.com. www.10minuteweightlosscall.com. Enter your first name and email address. On the next page, complete the application. An application is required because this call is only for 10 minutes, and the purpose of the call is to find out if or how I can help you, and also for you to find out what is really stopping you. What do you really want? If I believe at the end of the 10 minutes that I cannot help you, or if it's just not a good fit, I will be honest with you and I will give you a different option. If it is a good fit, then we'll need to find out more, set up another call, and go from there. But that would only occur if it were a good fit. Otherwise, it's just 10 minutes. Hey, if you're not willing to invest 10 minutes to finally get on the path to solving a lifelong problem that has been dragging you down, feeling like a 10-ton weight on your back all these years, if you're not willing to invest 10 minutes in yourself to do this, how are you ever going to get to where you want to go? Seriously. Because what you're saying is that you aren't worth 10 minutes. That's what you're saying. If you believe you are worth 10 minutes, and if you want to stop asking yourself, why am I so smart and successful, but I can't lose weight? Go over to www.10minuteweightlosscall.com and get started now. I am JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the Inner Self Diet, the diet that always works because it's not a food diet, it's the diet that you need for your mind. And it has always worked for every person I have coached through it who has followed my steps and done the steps since I started doing this in 2009. Now, just hearing me talk about it and say how wonderful it is, yeah, it's not going to work. You have to actually get into it, do the steps, and then you will break free of your personal food and weight struggles so that you could finally lose weight and keep it off. I wish you your best life living inside of your ideal body. And remember, you are only one thought away from the weight loss you crave.